Television,
Remi Aubuchon.
Remi Aubuchon, our showrunner and executive producer.
Okay.
Thanks for coming today.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, Remi, since you came on this year, it just seems like everything is ramped up. What did you see when you came on to the project and you wanted to kind of tweak and change?
Well, I loved the premise of the show when I saw it, and I think that the first season gang did a great job of setting us up a world that we hadn't seen. And I just felt, because I'm a fan of the genre and stuff, that it would be great to just see us push it even further and see how far we can go with it. And that's kind of what we did. And I think everyone was behind that idea, but really I thought we had now an opportunity to see what does it really feel like to be on the run and being hunted down by aliens or anything else. What does that do to our characters? So that's kind of what we started with.
Do we get an answer coming up to the ultimate reason why the aliens are harnessing the kids? What the sole purpose of that is for?
One of the things that Steven set up as a rule that I thought was a great idea, and I've followed that rule all the way, is that we don't get to learn any more about the world and the aliens' purpose on our planet except through the eyes of the second mass. So the short answer is yes, we'll learn more, but not everything. And we will continue to learn more, and hopefully through the third season we'll really have a strong idea of what that's all about. I think that's the way with all the mythology, by the way, of our show.
But I would say there's a satisfying amount of information about the harness and what you will learn. And it's a critical story point, for certain.
Incorporate history into your storylines? Do you have a list of historical events, like Heaven's Gardens or whatever, that you're slowly checking off, or is it kind of evolved as the story evolves?
I'd say it's a combination of both. I mean, a lot of us in the writers' room are history buffs, and certainly Bob Rodat, who created the show, had the intention, along with Steven, of paralleling the American Revolution experience. And we've chosen certain places like Charleston, which was a key location for the American Revolution, and other things to give it some sort of iconic resonance to it. History does repeat itself, and the more we've looked back and we've looked at even, Thermopylae and other places, we realize humans, when pushed and shoved and at bad odds, seem to triumph. And we don't quite know why that happens, but the resilience is pretty amazing. I think it makes for good storytelling.
Can you talk at all about Terry O'Quinn and Phil's characters and how they would impact on?
I don't want to spoil too much, but I will say that they're integral to Tom Mason and Captain Hoover, in that they're in some ways they're doppelgangers, and if the second mass had gone one way, they might have been Terry O'Quinn and that crew are. More than that, I don't want to really spoil, because I think it's kind of a fun way, and Terry does an amazing job. And he and his character and Tom Mason, by coincidence, knew each other very well, so that'll be fun.
They're kind of cut from the same cloth, but he's such an incredible presence and brings such gravitas to anything he does. It's a welcome presence, I think, when we run into him.
There was one episode that was really very family-oriented. It's essentially the parents and their children. Having like a lost child come back to see your father, and also Tom with his kids. Is that something you want to concentrate on, kind of bring in to see the impact of this whole situation on how what it does to families?
Yeah, I would say, it's interesting. It's a show we constantly, refer to the show as a dual franchise. It's part family and part science fiction. And it's these guys do a phenomenal job, I think, striking that balance. And I think oddly this year we probably have a little more sci-fi, a little more than we have in the past. But I would say, given that, those moments, the family moments, have been stronger, kind of emotional moments in a way, which is really worked wonderfully. And also, it's the second season. We know these characters, we know their relationships, we know what's at stake, and I think that's really coming through.
You have to rotate.
Thanks, guys.
Really